श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं शक्तिद्वयं हि मायायाः. When you break it, Visarga will come. The verse you may not see the Visarga, but when you break it, it comes. So, suppose you say Shaktidvayam Himayaya like that. It sounds very odd, because in the entire Maya Shabda, there is nothing like Mayaya. Aisa koi nahi hai. Mayaya can be there, or Mayaya. Visarga should be there. Vikshepa vrittirupakam Vikshepa shaktirlingadi brahmandantam jagat srujet. You see, what we were examining, the inner organ, the antahkarana, which is the mind stuff, and which is also called the vrittihi, antahkarana vrittihi, means it is constantly moving. In sleep, of course, it goes to sleep, which is the seed state. Otherwise, it is moving. In dream, it is moving all by itself. And in waking state, it is moving assisted by the five sense organs. That is what is going on. Okay? And it is in flux, constant movement in dream and waking state. And in that movement, we have seen that it projects a dream world. Not only it projects a dream world, but also creates a dream person to live in that dream world. That's why it is doing two things. So, ahankruti, the person, the doership is also, it is creating manohankrutyupadanam. That is what we have seen. So it creates or projects a dream world. Creates means don't think that it really creates. It is like the laser show is there, The laser, it shows a world. It presents a world for you to see. It is there only to be seen. If you go and touch it, there is nothing. Even in the movie screen, sometimes in our childhood they used to do that. They bring a basket of flowers. And when the hero comes for the first time onto the dais, onto the screen, they put flowers. The flowers do not fall upon the hero. They fall upon the screen. And if you go and embrace the hero, suppose, you rush and embrace the hero, they don't allow anybody to come near the screen because the screen is a costly piece of cloth, So, but somebody jumps the barricade and embraces the hero. What will he get into his hands? Not the hero. A piece of cloth he gets into his hands. Therefore, it is all an appearance, only a show. A passing show, not just a show, just sitting there. You can go any time and see it. Not like that. It's a passing show, constantly moving. That is what the dream world is. That is what the movie is. And that is what the waking life is. Okay? You see, interestingly, suppose you see a dream. The dream presents a world before you, and you live in that world. And when the dream ends, even the dream world ends. What is the end of the dream? End of the dream is end of the dream world. Means the blessed thing called world, it is created out of the projection of the mind, projection or the movement of the mind, and when the mind stops moving, the world ends. That's why this is called Nitya Srishtihi, Nitya Pralayam. Every day morning you wake up and mind starts moving and creates a world. Not only it creates a world, it creates ahankriti, a body-identified persona to live in that world, to go through the opposites of life, namely the sukha, dukkha, etc. We will come to that. Therefore, that is how the mind projects a world. In the dream state, it projects a dream world. And the moment the dream has ended, we think that the dream has ended. What does it really mean? The dream world has come to an end. And next day night you again dream, a new dream world is created. It need not be new, it can be repetitive also. We have seen that. And some of it is new, some of it is repetitive. And that dream world, the moment the dream ends, the dream world ends. Similarly, just like the ending of a cinema. What is the cinema? A world is created there, and you become a witness to that world. You participate in the world, not participate, you get absorbed in that world as the witness. And now you forget that you are the witness, and you start going through the emotions of the world that is created on the screen. On the screen, a rasa, a sentiment called shrungara, is love, is created, and so you enjoy it. You become, you get involved in it. And then the sorrow, the karuna rasa, what we call pathos, is created on the screen. That world consists of the pathos. And so you get involved in that pathos. And so there are tears in your eyes, and so your throat also gets a bit constricted, and all that happens. So you get emotionally involved in that. But then the cinema ends. Then what happens to the cinema world? It ends. Similarly, in the waking state, the mind creates a waking world. And it ends. Daily it is created in the morning, and in the evening it ends. Next day morning, you think that it is the continuation. This discussion we have done. You think it is the continuation. There is no continuation. You may say like that. With the layman thinks that it is continuous. You and I as laymen think that it is continuous. It is not continuous. It appears continuous. Like everything else, it appears continuous. In the movie also, it appears continuous. You see the movie, there is an interval, you know. And then we used to call it interbell. Because one bell rings also at that time. So in the interbell, you come out and purchase some coffee or tea or whatever, or popcorn, whatever, and again go back. And now you see the movie. It is continuous. It is not continuous. It appears continuous. Everything is dikhavat, appearance only. And so your continuity is also an appearance. Hero, heroine, villain, they continue. Even after the interbell, they continue, you know. They continue. And so you think it is continuity. Life is also same thing. You wake up and create the world. And that world is created by the movement of the mind. Mind is memory. Mind is memory. Please understand. They are same. Mind is memory. Mind is past. And therefore, today morning the world that you created, it is very similar to the yesterday's world, with some modifications here and there. The modifications are the present, but mostly it is the past. Because the blessed thing is coming out of the memory, and therefore it gives you a sense of continuity. Otherwise, even the continuity, along with every other aspect of the waking state, is also an appearance. So I have answered that continuity already, but again I mentioned it. So this is how the mind, which is memory, which is the inner organ, which is the mind stuff, it creates the subject here and the object outside. Both subject and object have the same source, manohankrityupadanam. That inner organ, the mind stuff, is the source for both the subject and object. So it is playing a game solo. On one side of the game, it is the subject, the mind. And on the other side of the game, it is the objective world. This is happening. All this is happening. It is called a phenomenal world, including the subject who is also phenomenal. It is a flux, a constant movement. The movement stops, the world ends. It is like in the movie, the reel will be there. In the old-fashioned movie, the reel will be there. The reel will be rotating. So interval comes and goes, and again it continues the rotation, and the reel comes to the very end. The cinema ends. Okay? Same thing is happening here. Now that movement which creates the appearance of a world, that movement, in Advaita Vedanta, Vedanta is Advaita. In Vedanta, it is given a name. The movement, once you say the movement, it is power, movement is power. What is the definition of power? Power is the ability to do work. Something like that in physics, these words are defined. Work, energy, power, all are very closely defined, very well defined with equations and all that. So the power is the ability to do work is called power. And therefore, there is the power, which is the inner organ. You can say it in two ways. Inner organ has the power, Shakti, or inner organ is the power. You can say, like Chaitrasya Shiraha, the head of Mr. Chaitra. The head of Mr. Chaitra, or Mr. Chaitra himself is the head. Both ways it works, okay? The Shashti Tatpurusha is like that. Anyway, so the power, Shakti, you see, already we have entered into the verse, Shakti Dvayam. So, this power, it is given a name. The name is Maya. Maya is the Shakti, power, and it is twofold. That's why a Shashti Tatpurusha is added. Mayayaha Shakti Dvayam. Maya is Shakti, power. Means it performs two jobs. You see, Atma doesn't perform anything. Atma is not the Karta, it is a Karta. Atma is timelessly peace, silence, the being. That is what Atma is. That's why Mahatmas who understand the Atma, they are very quiet and peaceful people, because they abide in that being. Whereas people who are very active, pravrittishilaha, very active and very energetic, and running hither and thither and doing this, doing that, starting this, starting that, they are into the world, and they are worldly people. Okay? So, whereas the Mahatmas like Ramana Maharshi, etc., you must have read, they are very quiet people, because they are not into the Shakti. They are in themselves, in oneself. While watching the movie, you also jump along with the hero and heroine. No, you don't do that. You just sit and watch. Because that is your Swarupa, you are the Drig. Whereas the movie is Drishya. All jumping, dancing, beating, quarreling, enjoying and suffering, everything. All Navarasas, the 9 sentiments, they are all in the Drishya, none in the Drig. Therefore, we are now looking at that mind stuff, the inner organ, which is creating this world. Now, the point is, it is creating the world, it is projecting the world, same as creating this. Creation is projection. In doing so, it must be a very powerful thing. Otherwise, how can it create so much movement? It is a constant flux. It is in constant flux. That's why it is called the phenomenal world. created by the mind or the mind stuff which is in constant flux. I am just trying to explain to you the word Shakti. It has the power. That's why there is no Shakti in Atma. Atma, also called Purushaha, there is no Shakti in it. Shakti is called Prakrutihi. Prakrishtam Krutihi, Aprakrishta Krutihi, Prakrutihi. All movement, all flux, that is the Antahkaranam, the inner organ, and that is the power. All power is in the movement, not in the being. All power is in the becoming, not in the being. You see the difference between the two? And you put yourself in that all that power, then you will be rotating up and down like that wheel, big wheel is there. You go and sit there, the wheel starts rotating, you will be rotating too. Another way of doing it is just to stand and watch the wheel going up and down. So where you want to put yourself, that you have to decide. You have to put yourself in the being, not in the becoming. Because the becoming, it is an appearance, it is not real. How to say? It is, there is a lot of movement, so, but no reality in it. You see, I read a small bit. Tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow. Creep in this petty pace from day to day. Okay? Petty pace from day to day, to the last syllable of the recorded time. This is Shakespeare. Okay? And all our yesterdays have lighted fools. The way to dusty death. The yesterday becomes today, and tomorrow it goes on and on to dusty death. Out, out, brief candle. This is from Macbeth, which is a tragedy. Life is but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage. You are getting it? Shakespeare is something, I tell you. And then is heard no more. So, struts and frets and then heard no more. It is a tale, our life, it is a tale told by an idiot. It's a tale. That's why these biographies are very sad. Mahatmas don't write biographies because it's all an appearance. What is there to write about it? So, it is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Macbeth by Shakespeare, how well it fits into the description of Maya. So you should give credit to me. I am just joking to bring Macbeth into Maya. Just fits like hand in glove, I tell you. Anyway, that is the Maya. Why do you call it Maya? Because it is all sound and fury, signifying nothing. You must have seen some of these Hindi movies and Telugu movies that come. So much sound and fury. Every movie is the same formula. There is a hero and there is a heroine. There is a villain who is a gunda and who is very rich and who doesn't pay taxes and all that. And he has politicians support him, some of them, and some police officers also support him, and some gurus also support him occasionally. These gurus, these religious heads, rubbing shoulders with the villains, a very sad thing it is. Anyway, and so it goes on like that, and a lot of sound and fury, signifying nothing. People have to understand. And therefore, now which is the right word to describe this show? Maya. What is Maya? Ya ma sa Maya. It is all sound and fury, signifying nothing. Ya ma. Ma is nothing. That is called Maya. Maya is not a theory. It's not a theory. It is simply a statement of fact as they exist, as the facts as they exist. It's not a theory. It is a statement of facts. It is the very basis. Maya is the very basis of our being. Our life is rooted in contradiction, and hence there is only one word that can describe this life in this world. That is Maya. Because why contradiction? Everywhere we have to move through this tremendous contradiction called Maya. That is how we have to live. For example, wherever there is good, there is evil. And there are people who wants to change it. How can you change? Suppose I will show you a movie. In that movie, the villain is doing all kinds of nonsense. You go and change that movie, that villain. You need not change it. You just stop watching the movie, that is enough. So the world is like that. But people want to change it. This is all a big Maya it is. So it is appearance, and people who want to change it is also part of that Maya. Anyway, that's a digression. So wherever there is good, there must also be evil. It will be there. That is how Maya is. And wherever there is evil, there must be some good also. So, you see, smugglers never tell a lie. You know that? And they never cheat. Smugglers, very honest people, I tell you. That is the Maya. So, wherever there is evil, there must be some good. Wherever there is life, death must follow as its shadow. Children die, young people die, old people die. So people complain how children die. They die. That is how the Maya moves. And because wherever there is life, death follows as a shadow. And everyone who smiles will have to weep. And vice versa. Everyone who weeps will have to smile, will smile. So, what about Vedanta? Vedanta recognizes Maya and recognizes both aspects of this Maya. And that's why you cannot describe Vedanta as either optimistic or pessimistic. You should not. That's why they ask Vedanta is pessimistic. No, it is not pessimistic. It is not optimistic also. It is a statement of fact. And what is the fact? Maya. And this Maya is power. It is not silence. Silence is Atma. It is not immutable. That is Atma. Maya is constantly mutating, constantly changing, moving, creating, destroying. That is the Maya. And this Maya is a power. And the power is twofold. Shaktidvayam. Why twofold? You see, to project a thing which appears real but not real, that is Maya. It is only an appearance. It is not real. That is Maya. So to do that, so Maya should have two elements in it, two powers. One is, it covers up what is real, avruti, and it makes you see what is unreal, vikshepa. You got the Maya? Generally, we give Rajju Sarpa Drishtanta to explain this Maya. What you have there is a rope, but you end up seeing a serpent. This serpent, where from this serpent came, lot of discussion is there. Where from it came, if you go into all that discussion, you will not get anything. Without going into all the discussion, use common sense and try to understand. The serpent came from your memory. Very simple. Now when you project a serpent, when you see the serpent, there you have rope. You are seeing the serpent. Are you recollecting serpent or are you seeing the serpent outside? You are not recollecting the serpent. If you recollect the serpent, it will be inside you only. You recollect the serpent. It will be inside you. You are not recollecting the serpent. It is not smrutihi. It is smruti rupaha. Like smruti it is. Like you are recollecting the serpent which remains in your head. But here, you take out the serpent from memory, certainly, like in smruti, like in recollection, but you project it outside. That is called projection. That's why the movie language applies to Maya very well. In the movie, you have the projection. The machine is called the projector. Now the movie will start, we will start the projection of the movie. The word projection, which so nicely fits into the movie context, applies perfectly well in Vedanta. So, you take the serpent which is in your head and project it outside on the rope. Bahihi. It is not bahihi. It is bahiriva. As though bahihi. And so you see it outside. So that is Maya. What is Maya in it? What is inside your memory, you see outside. That is the Maya. Inside in your memory, you have friend and foe. You see them outside. Inside your memory, you have wife and children. You see them outside. Are you following? So here, there are two things. Take the Rajju Sarpa only. It is Rajju, but you fail to see the Rajju. Rajju is rope. If you see the rope, you will never project a serpent upon it. Right? You fail to see the rope. That's why you are projecting the serpent. That you fail to see the rope is the power of Maya. It covers up the rope. Then you project the serpent is also the power of Maya. That is the serpent. You got it? So there are two elements in it. One is you fail to see the rope because rope is covered up by the Maya, the power of Maya, which is the avruti, and then the serpent is projected by the Maya, which is vikshepa. Therefore, this Maya, which is a power, is twofold. One is covering up, other is projection. Got it? Very simple. Let us say that statement, he because Mayayaha. To the Maya, vikshepavruti rupakam. In the form of projection and cover up, Shaktidvayam. Twofold power is. Put a is and make the sentence complete. Therefore, this Maya is a twofold power. It covers up what is and it projects what is not. This is how we live. Okay? So, I will demonstrate Maya to you. But then you have to cooperate with me. If you don't cooperate, I cannot demonstrate. Okay, glad that it glows. Now, it is a glow, okay? You should tell me what is it? Glow. You should not tell me 3 plus, all that you should not tell. Okay? It is a glow. Don't worry about this black handle and all that. It's a glow. So what are you seeing now? It's a glow. Now, there is glow and you see glow. No Maya. No Maya. Now I will introduce Maya there. Then you will not see glow anymore. That is avruti. And you start seeing things. That is vikshepa. Okay? Shall we do it?
Yes.
Now what are you saying? Should I do it this way? No. This is the right way. What are you saying? Let us party. Look at that Maya. It is real Maya. Party is a big Maya. Now I tell you, let us party, a sentence, right? The sentence is in your head or is it here? It is in your head. And you are seeing it here. But here what is the glow? You don't see the glow. Unless I stop rotating, Maya is the rotation. Maya is the power is the ability to do work. That is the Maya. The rotation is the movement is the Maya. Mind is the movement. This is the mind. And without movement, there is glow. Now, when it starts moving, the glow is covered up. You do not see glow anymore. Unless you have a very strong power of Viveka, discrimination, then you will see glow. But normally, without Viveka, you will see a sentence, and that sentence you see here, but really speaking, the sentence is in your head. I tell you, this is one thing that amazes me. The idea of Maya is a great discovery. That the word Maya is used in the Upanishad. Mayantu prakrutim vidyan mayinantu maheshwaram indro mayabhih pururupa iyate. That is the Rigveda. And the first line which I said is from Shvetashvatara Upanishad. And so that Maya is a discovery. The rishis discovered the Maya. So Maya is such a powerful thing. It makes you see things which are not there. That is the Maya. That's why when you see something, don't get carried away, because it is the Maya which is working and make you see things which are not there. And now you see a thing which is not there due to your Maya. Maya, another name, I will come to it. You see things which are not there due to the Maya, and ask the Swami questions why it is so. And if the Swami answers faithfully and correctly, you get disturbed. See Maya, how long it is going, its arm is stretching, how much it is stretching. Who asked you to see a thing which is not there? Okay, having seen, why do you ask a question, me to explain it? Okay, you have asked when I explained it correctly, why do you become angry? See the long hand of the Maya operating in your head. So, when you see many things, when I do this, you see a sentence, let us party, and immediately all party thing comes into your head. Then you see 3 words, let us party, 3 words you see, and then you see 3 plus 2 plus 5, so 10 syllables you see. 1 sentence, 3 words, 10 syllables of English language you see. The one who doesn't know English alphabet will see something else. He will also see something else. He too will not see the glow. He will see lines, squares, this and that. So, this is the Maya. Now, what you are seeing, they are not things. Where is the sentence? Sentence, if it is there, it becomes a thing. There is no sentence. There are no words. There are no syllables. Therefore, they are not things. They are phenomena. The sentence is a phenomenon. The words are phenomena. The syllables are phenomena. So let us party. Let us party. And then 10 syllables. All of them are phenomena. You see them only when there is movement. That's why they are called phenomena. Now the world, is a world that is existent or is a world that is phenomenal? It is phenomenal world. You should not say existent world. No. Existent Brahman. Phenomenal world. Existent glow. Phenomenal statements and words and ideas and all that. That is the phenomenal. Now you tell me, I ask you a few questions. This phenomena, How many phenomena I have told you? 1 plus 3 plus 10. 14 phenomena. All these phenomena, are they inherent in the glow? Question. No. Good. They are not there. Where are they? They are not there. They are not inherent in the glow. Is the serpent inherent in the rope? No. You see, a student came to me and asked, with pot started. I said, okay, pot I will come to the pot later, shift to sarpa, Rajju sarpa. So, no, the world is in the present. It was not there in the past, it will not be there in the future, but it is in the present. Yeah, true. Because serpent was not there earlier, serpent will not be there later, it is there now. Do you agree with that? You do not agree with it. You should not. Because serpent is not there now. Serpent only appears now. Adavante cha yan nasti vartamane cha tat tatha mandukya. Therefore, if you have any confusion, examine Rajju Sarpa. All the confusion will go away. Shankara says, Rajvam bhujangama iva pratibhasitam vai. Pratasmarana Stotra. In the rope, a serpent appears. Similarly, in your consciousness, in your inner light, because of this movement of the mind, a world appears. Now one question I asked and you answered no. Now I am asking another question. These 14 things, a sentence, 3 words and 10 syllables, do they come into the torch from outside? No. Good. Now, the third question, do they come out from within the torch? No. This is the topic of alata. Alata is this. This is the alata. Alata is the glow, a burning torch. And when alata, the burning torch, stops rotating, there are no phenomena. Shanti. Shanti, 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 no phenomena. But when it is rotating, all phenomena appears. Now, when the torch stops rotating, torch stops, what happened to these 14 phenomena? Did they enter into the torch? No. Good. You are wonderful students. Good. Then when the torch stops rotating, all those phenomena, did they get out through the window? All questions get only one answer. No. I have asked 5 questions. There is only one answer. No for every 5 questions. So the pure being, that inner light, at rest, when it is quiet, when the mind is not there, it is in its place. There is no trace of manifold names and forms in that inner light. Okay? But then when the mind starts moving, that is the Shakti, and so the inner light is covered up and all kinds of names and forms appear. And those names and forms appear, which appear because of the movement of the mind, are entirely illusory. Once I was taking a class, I said, Jagat is an illusion, the world is an illusion, I said. Somebody questioned me, what do you say illusion? It is not an illusion. Shankara did not say illusion. Then I said, why Shankara says illusion? He doesn't use English. He doesn't say illusion. You tell me what he said. Now we will check whether the translation works out right or wrong. That we will do. You may not agree with my translation. We can use another English word. No, Shankara did not say illusion. That doesn't sound nice, you know. Okay, I'll give you another word. Shankara doesn't say any English words. Shankara says, Maya matram idam jagat. That is all he said. This jagat is only Maya. Now this jagat only, that much translation we have done. Now you have to translate the word Maya I said illusion, you don't like it. I will try one more word, false. Now you like that? No, I don't like it. Then why you tell me a word, mithya. Are English bolo pa? We are talking about English. No, it cannot be translated. Go and sit on the tree. Let me do my translation. Okay? Therefore, all these names and forms, which are the phenomena, which appear because of the movement of the mind, which appear, they are illusory. And the glow, the inner light, is not touched by these illusory names and forms, just like this glow is not touched one way or the other by the illusory words and sentences and your memories. And so, in all, you see, another beauty is, so in that sentence, in those words and in those syllables, the glow is present. But in the glow, no words, no syllables, no sentence are present. Now I will describe that in a technical language, you get hold of it. The glow is immanent in all the phenomena, but yet it is transcendent. You got it? If you say immanent and leave it, that becomes Vishishtadvaita. If you say immanent yet transcendent, that is Advaita. That is the difference. So you have to say immanent and transcendent. Therefore, in all names and forms, Brahman alone is, but in Brahman, no names and forms are there. They are evanescent. They appear, but they vanish. They just appear and vanish. Therefore, these names and forms, they arise out of the movement of the mind. The mind moves and creates and recreates a world for you which is really not there. That is, it is not really there. That's why it is mithya, myth. Mithya translation is myth. And it is an illusion, and it is maya in Sanskrit. Therefore, chit, the inner light, plus maya shakti gives you the appearance of a phenomenal world. Got it? Therefore, what is the origin of this phenomenal world? The mind and the light behind the mind, the inner light. That's why I say, you are the center of the cosmos. The cosmos is shining before you in the light that is projected from within your Chaitanya, the inward awareness, absolute, through the moving mind. That is how you see a world outside there. So, Shaktidvayam hi mayayaha vikshepavruti rupakam. You got it? You see, if Maya could be elucidated, then everything else in Vedanta would become clear, would become acceptable. So, everything else in Vedanta would become natural and plain. Plain, it is plain. No speculation, no complexity, it is very plain. Once the vision of Maya is correctly understood and correctly elucidated. And therefore Maya, understanding of Maya, is the foundation of Vedanta. Okay? So Shaktidvayam hi mayayaha vikshepavruti rupakam. Just one more sentence is there. We will finish it so that for this patrons camp, we have taken one nice topic consisting of 3 verses. The second line is, so what is Brahman. What is. That is the Satyam. Sat, Satyam. What is Sat is. That is the truth, Satyam. What you project is the world. Therefore, Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. So what is Brahman. What you make out of it is the world. It is something like what is gold. What you make out of it is an ornament. What is water. What you make out of it is wave, breaker, surf, vortex, so many things. So what is Brahman, timeless and spaceless, and what you make out of it is the Jagat. And so that is the power of projection. Okay? And this power of projection, you see its glory in a way. You see it beginning with the mind in you, and that mind projects a world outside, and it projects a cosmos outside. So that is the power of projection that shows you an entire universe, a multiverse it is. We call it universe, but it is a multiverse. An entire multiverse is shown on one without the second Brahman. That is the second line. Let us say the second line. Vikshepa Shakti, the power of projection. Lingadi Brahmandantam, beginning with the inner organ, up to the cosmos, Jagat, the world. Srujet creates. Creates means shows. Creates means not really something is created. Nothing is created. Everything is shown. But then I say, look at me. See my glory. I will create a sentence for you. I will create words and syllables. That is the creation. Creation, don't assume that it is real. So, it is an appearance only. So what is this Vikshepa Shakti, the power of projection? It creates a lot, Jagat. You know what is Jagat? Atishayena Gacchati iti Jagat. That is Jaga, that Abhyasa we call it. It is in the sense of Atishaya. Very much. Atishaya means very much. Moving, flux, phenomenal. So, which is a constant flux. That is the meaning of the word Jagat. An appearance which is in constant flux. That is the Jagat. That Jagat, so in that constant flux, you see many things. You see the personal, the Vyakti or Vyashti and Samashti. You see that. They go together. The personal, the universal. They go together. You cannot have personal without the universal and the universal without the personal. They go together. It is like water and wave. It is like a pond and wave. You cannot have a wave without ponds and vice versa. You take it like that. When there is movement, you cannot have a pond without waves. And you cannot have a wave without the pond. They go together. So, a Vyashti and a Samashti, both are created by this Vikshepa Shakti. So it begins with Vyashti, myself, this body-mind. The body-mind requires a world around. There cannot be any body-mind without the world around. So therefore I begin with the mind, the organs, the body, and the world, and the other worlds, heaven, this, that. So all of this is projected by you the moment you wake up, all of that. So who is projecting the part? You. Who is projecting the whole? You. Who is claiming that this part is a small part of the whole? You. This you try to get. You project a part and you project the whole, and then you claim that this is the part of the whole. You created the whole. You are not part of the whole. You created the whole. You created the part and then you claim that this part is the part of the whole. Both you created. So, this is how Jagat Srujet, let us say, Vikshepa Shakti, the power of projection, Lingadi Brahmandantam, beginning with the Linga, the mind stuff, sense organs, organs of action, the body, the world that contains the body, the universe that contains the world, up to that, Jagat, the phenomenal universe, Srijet, creates. You got it, that sentence? So in that, the mind stuff, the organs, the body, that is the Vyashti. And the world, the universe, Brahmanda, that is the Samashti. So Vyashti plus Samashti, that is the Jagat. That Jagat, you are creating. You are the creator. I always say, when you create the world, why do you create an unhappy world? You create a happy world only. You see, one small anecdote, a person got a dream. In that dream, he was walking and suddenly he found a 100 rupee note and he took it in his pocket. And so he was very happy. So next day he claims, "Arey, do you know, I got 100 rupees in my dream." Then somebody else told, if it is only getting in the dream, why 100 rupees? Why not 100,000 rupees? अरे कल्पना ही करना है तो थोड़ा बड़ा कल्पना करो. It is kalpana. It is imagination. Our rishis were having this vision very beautifully. That's why they said the time scale in which the universe exists, they gave a name to it, Kalpaha. Kalpana eva Kalpaha. So now we are going through Shvetavaraha Kalpa. What a Kalpa it is. White boar Kalpa. And this Kalpa goes, another Kalpa comes. So the Kalpana, it goes on and on. What is the Kalpana? In essence, many appear in one without a second. That manyness is Maya. Insentient Jada appears in the Chetana Brahma. A mountain, insentient, appears in Brahma. That insentience, the Jadatvam, is Maya. Finite appears in the infinite. The finiteness is Maya. Beginning happens in the beginningless. That beginning is Maya. End happens in the endless. That end is Maya. Some more, are you okay? Time appears in the timeless. Time is Maya. Space appears in the spaceless. Space is Maya. So, janmadhyasya yataha, asya jagataha, of this world, janmadi, janmasthiti bhangam, the creation, the sustenance, and the annihilation. Yataha, from which, that is the Brahma. Right? That is the definition of Brahma. The beginning of the Brahma Sutra, the second sutra. So it means from which, yataha, from which janmadi, the birth etc. happen. No, the birth etc. do not happen. The birth etc. appear. Pratiyate. Yataha janmadi pratiyate. From which it appears as though there is birth, as though there is sustenance, as though there is annihilation. That is the Brahma. So, that Brahma. Then the world that is created, it just merges in that Brahma. And the world that you create in the morning, this Vyashti and the Samashti, where does it merge? It merges in you. Where does it come from? It comes from you. Where does it sustains? It sustains itself in you or in you. You are the Brahma. Now do you have any doubt about Tattvamasi? You are that Brahma. Therefore, you have to gain Brahma? No. You are Brahma. You have to become Brahma? No. But then, what to do? You have to inquire about Brahma. That is all. You need not gain it. You need not become it. You have to inquire about Brahma. Because Brahma you already are. Only you have to inquire. That's why we have Brahma Jijnasa. Okay? So this is the essence of Vedanta in 1 hour. Okay? So let us say the verse. Before saying the verse, let us say, Lord Narayana, another 2 minutes is there. Lord Narayana is sleeping. And when he is sleeping, he started snoring. That is Shabda. Shabda is Akasha. Snoring Akasha has emerged out of Narayana. Got it? And then he opened his eyes. Prithivya Tejaha happened. Prithvi ap Tejaha Vayu, he just started moving. Hilna shuru kiya. Vayu happened. Narayana. Okay? Narayana smiled. The earth, the flowers, the trees, the plants, the stars, the moon, the sun, the life forms, all of that happened. Narayana thought enough is enough. He went back to sleep by closing the eyes. The whole universe is annihilated. Got it? That is the Maya. And who is that Narayana? Tattvamasi. Let us say the verse now. I am satisfied. If I don't say that Narayana snoring, I will feel a bit uneasy. So I said it, and whatever is in my chest, it came out. Let us say, Shaktidvayam Himayayaha Vikshepavrutiroopakam. In some book, that ta under ta is there, it's a printing mistake. It is not avrutti, it is avruti, which is avaranam. Vikshepashiktirlingadi brahmandantam jagat srujet. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam. Thank you for your attention. God bless.